Wikipedia, one of the most popular sites on the internet, only being by sites like YouTube, Amazon, Facebook, Yahoo, and some other Chinese websites I've never heard of. Despite almost every Google search you do having the first search result be a Wikipedia article in the subject, many professors and teachers say Wikipedia is not a reliable source. Wikipedia is, like I said earlier, one of the most visited sites in the world. It's an online encyclopedia including articles about almost every topic you can imagine, from George Washington to a Canadian polar bear jail. It has over 6 million articles on varying topics, and it makes millions in donations a year, with 2019 and 2020 year making $130 million, though after expenses only being about $15 million in profit, but it's still a lot for a website that runs only off donations. Donations go towards the server costs, its bandwidth, software development for things like the Wikipedia app, which I never knew existed, and it comes with these cool stickers and things, but anyway, and its staff, of course. The staff of Wikipedia usually administrates the article edits to make sure nobody vandalizes important articles or any articles at all. This is because Wikipedia is open to anyone to edit and view. This is how they achieved their 6 million different articles on different topics about almost anything you can imagine in the world, with people who know a lot about this subject contributing their knowledge to this free open source encyclopedia. That brings us to our problem. Wikipedia can be edited by anyone. Anyone can put anything on it. So is Wikipedia even reliable? Wikipedia is quite easy to edit. In fact, I'll show you right here. Okay guys, so as you can see, I'm going to show how easy it is to change to Wikipedia, which is why some people are skeptical of this stuff is reliable. As you can see, if I go to edit source of any Wikipedia article, I can only just edit the entire article very easily. So, let's see, there's signs cautioning polar bear alert. I could say there's signs cautioning, saying, very scary jail up ahead. And then I could click, I'm not going to publish it because I don't want to get banned from Wikipedia, but as you can see, it'll say there's signs cautioning very scary jail up ahead. If I click to publish changes, they would probably be reverted by Wikipedia staff using the expenses. That's why they have $115 million in expenses. But yeah, that would change the thing permanently. So if you're doing a report on this, and you went on this page right after I edited it, people you might see there's signs cautioning very scary jail up ahead. And you're like, huh, that's pretty funny. I'll include that. That it says very scary jail up ahead, even though there's no sign that says very scary jail up ahead. So that's why some people are skeptical of Wikipedia. But honestly, the staff should handle it. And if there are no sources cited, here's a source right here, you should check the sources all the time to make sure that whatever is written is actually the truth. And if you really want to get into it, just click view history, and you can see all the different source sites and changes to the site, and you can make sure none of them were dumb people editing this site. As you can see, if a post changes, anyone who read the article will clearly see that it says very scary jail ahead right in front of the jail, unless a staff member or a very helpful user had removed my infactual claims. So, if millions of these articles are made in this user input faction, and they're edited, updated, and vandalized in the same way, could you even trust it? Many teachers and professors agree that the risk is too high to use this user input fashion as a credible source, and to not even believe anything written on Wikipedia at all. But before we come to the conclusion, we have to view why I and many others dispute this claim of why Wikipedia should be used and how it should be used as a credible source. Maybe the most reliable source is a bit of an exaggeration, but you have to agree that it would be quite dumb to let an entire library full of every article imaginable on any topic imaginable go to complete waste. So, as you can see, here's the article for Polar Bear Jail. It's so stupid. If you want to cite a source on Wikipedia, you shouldn't just copy and paste a Wikipedia article as a source, since anybody can edit it at any time, and just like how you wouldn't cite Google as a source, what I would like to see it as is kind of like a directory towards your sources. So if you want to use the signs cautioning a polar bear alert in Hudson Bay, you just click on this 3 here, which will bring you to the source, and it says this article right here is the source. So if I go here, I get brought to the source of On the Polar Bear Trail, which is a story by Brett Love and Mary Gabbett. And here's the article. I'm probably download or something, but yeah, there's a story all around here, and it tells you all about the Polar Bear Jail. And this people would use as a credible, teachers would accept it as a credible source, and it should be used as a credible source. And that's why Wikipedia is amazing, because yeah, Wikipedia itself, I don't know if you can trust that it said that on the Polar Bear jail thing, but as you can see here, this is a credible source, and you see it's a book written about it, and that's more credible than a Wikipedia article that anybody can edit at all times. And I bet your professor would agree, or your teacher, depending on if you're in high school, middle school, even elementary school. If you're in elementary school, you should reconsider watching a video like this. But yeah, if you, depending on what grade you're in, and an article like this, I think any teacher could agree would be more credible than Wikipedia, and which is good. What Wikipedia should be used for is directing you to these different websites and not being your source overall. As you can see, depending on how you use Wikipedia, it can be a very useful trick for an essay. Not only does it condense the knowledge of multiple article sources into a quick little article, but it gives you the sources to cite as you paraphrase what you read. So, as a conclusion, Wikipedia as itself is not a credible source, but as long as you take the sources linked in the article and make sure those in of themselves are credible, you can use Wikipedia as the greatest learning tool the internet has ever created. Oh, and by the way, if teachers still say you can't use Wikipedia, just look at their Wikipedia sources and use them instead. Yeah, so that's about it. I just want to make a quick little video about a topic that I'm really invested in. Like, when it comes to sourcing, citing sources, a lot of teachers say that Wikipedia is not reliable, but it's just my opinion and what I believe is a great way to use Wikipedia to be a reliable source. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any other questions or video essays, I guess you would call them, you want me to do a video about, let me know. I'll probably just go back to doing Minecraft videos, but I do know a lot about geography and stuff and the world, and I think it'll be interesting to look into more of that and do more videos on that. So yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.